All right, ladies and gentlemen, track fans, welcome to Cronin Field, Jesuit High School, Portland, Oregon. We're on the west side of the hills on a fabled track known for many great performances throughout the years, from the Big Friendly Series to the Bowerman Track Club racing over the pandemic, and last year's Stumptown races. We're just finishing up some of the sections of the Rose City Mile, and up next on the track is the women's 5,000 meters, headlined by Sifan Hassan, the world record holder in the mile, who many of the athletes out here and fans have come to watch. So that race will take off at 11:30. But we're bringing this race to you live and for free on the Tracklandia YouTube channel. So if you're watching, you already know that, but be sure to pass it to your friends. We've got a great slate of races throughout the day today. Brought to you by Portland Track and the Tracklandia crew. Track for all. Attendance here is free as well. So if you're in the Portland area and you want to watch some racing, you can jump in your car and head on out here. We'll be here. You can't see it at the moment, but the flag is perfectly still here. The temperature is about 66 to 67 degrees. So not bad racing weather by anybody's standards. And there we go. Got a perfect line of sight to the flag there. So that's what you want to see when you're going to take some shots. And we're excited to see what Sifan Hassan will do today in the women's 5,000. She's run 3 races so far this year, 2 on the track and 1 on the roads, notably the London Marathon, where she debuted in 2:18, taking that victory. We got a good view of the crowds here, people coming out for a picnic on the lawn. Some food trucks. But here we go, some athletes warming up for the women's 5,000 meter race. Also it appears that might be for the top section of the Rose City Mile. So our schedule for today, we're going to go through the high performance sections of the women's 5,000, the men's 5,000, 1 race per each, and then the 2 top sections of the Rose City Mile to cap off our morning event. And then we move to heats of the 800 meters, men's and women's, and then heats of the 1,500 meters to cap off the day. Something interesting to note for this Stumptown meet is that it's a tune-up and last chance qualifier for a lot of U.S.-based athletes. So what that means is athletes are going to be doing some different things out there on the track. You have a few athletes who are doubling out there today. Cole Hocker and Amon Kemboi are going to be rematching in the men's 1,500, but before they do that, they're both going to race in the same heat of the 800 meters. So we'll get to see who comes out on top for both of those. And Konstanze Klosterhalfen, Coco, is going to be doing the same thing on the women's side, running the 800 meters and then the 1,500 meters. And also in the 1,500 meters later today, we'll have Sinclaire Johnson racing, the defending U.S. champion over that distance. But here, this is a great opportunity for athletes to get marks, to get ready for the U.S. championships that'll be taking place at Hayward Field July 6th through the 9th. Just about an hour and 40 minutes down I-5 from here. And we hope for weather like this when that event takes place. But here, looking down the back stretch, you can see the women's 5,000 meter field. It's a smaller field. Sifan Hassan, Katrina Coogan, Savannah Shaw, Lindsay Adams in here, better known as the steeplechaser, Alessia Zarbo, Giovanna Dela Cruz, and Hannah Branch. graphics coming your way, courtesy of the Tracklandia team. JJ Vasquez, Michael Flotron and co. We got Sifan wearing the Nike kit there and the white cap. And Coogan comes in with the 15:14 best in the field. There you can see what the track looks like. Jesuit High School, I would say, maybe the second best track in the state to Hayward Field. It's not quite as protected as the likes of the Electric Forest, Griswold Stadium at Lewis and Clark, or Mount Hood Community College, but the track itself is an international sized track, so a great shape and great for fast running. And when there's no wind, you can see a lot of that. So here we go, they're off now at this small field. So we have 4 athletes in this field and no pacer. Sifan Hassan out front in the early goings. And it will likely stay that way throughout this race. So last year at the Stumptown Twilight, Sifan Hassan came out. It was in July, early July, and she raced the 5,000 meters, won the event in 15:13. That was the beginning of her season. That was her season opener, and she went on to claim 6th and 4th in the 10,000 meters and 5,000 meters at the World Championships a few weeks later. But she is in much better shape this year. Hassan, as we said earlier, 3 races under her belt so far this year in 2023. She hits the lap mark in 70. So 4:40, 1,600 meter pace, and about 4:35, 5,000 meter pace. Earlier this month, on June 3rd, Hassan ran 29:37.8 in Hangalo in the 10,000 meters. A day later, on June 4th, she won the 1,500 in 3:58.12. So across the board, she's in great shape. Great range, 3:58 all the way up to a 2:18 marathon. And we know she's run fantastically in the 800 throughout her career. I don't know if that's going to be on the docket for the World Championships this year, as she glimpses at the World Championship schedule and sees what she might want to attack. I don't know if the triple is in the cards again this year as it was in 2019. But here she's coming up to 800 meters in about 2:23, so 73-second lap for her second lap. In 2019, Sifan Hassan famously won the double gold, the 1,500 and the 10,000. I don't know if that's possible this year due to the schedule of the World Championships that'll take place in Budapest. It looks like a 5,000 and a 10,000 meter double is doable in Budapest. A 1,500 and 5,000 double is doable, but the 1,500 and 10,000 double is a little bit tough, as the 1,500 heats are the same day as the 10,000 meter final. So we'll see what she ends up doing. Hassan also double gold medalist at the Tokyo Olympics in the 5,000 and 10,000. 3:34 through 1,200 meters. As we glimpse the aerial cam here. Men's 5,000 is up next. We got a little treat there too as Connor Burns aims for that 13:34 mark set by Lex Young, claiming the high school record that Burns previously had, 13:37. He broke Galen Rupp's high school record earlier this year at the Sound Running Track Fest. Hassan clocking 71-second laps here. And the trio of women behind her working together at roughly 77s. Hassan coming up to the 1600 mark in about 4:44. 71.2 for that quarter mile for Sifan. And this is Alessia Zarbo, Lindsay Adams, and Hannah Branch coming up to the 1600-meter mark themselves. About 5:10. There's a great view of Hassan powering down the home straight, chasing the drone. And a tune-up effort for her, no doubt, as the Dutch team has selected her. Or they will. I don't know if that is finalized yet, as she looks to what event she'd like to race at the World Championships in Budapest. But she'll be a contender in whatever she chooses to race. As we reach 2,000 meters, 5:56 or 7-ish. So 3,000 meters to go for Sifan. And Zarbo Branch and Lindsay Adams, the trio behind her. And the fans are applauding Sifan as she comes by the home stretch again, rounds the bend. And at this point in the year, as we approach championship season, there aren't too many 5,000-meter racing opportunities on the calendar, so this providing a great opportunity for athletes looking to get a mark in that distance before we head into USA's and other international championships. Coming up to 2,400 meters here, 7:08. So clicking off 71 seconds, 71 mid to high. And we'll see as she comes up to the 2,500 meter mark here. Halfway in about 7:29. So just under 15-minute pace for Sifan. We know that is well within her comfort zone. Her best mark in this race, 14:22. She owns 11 national records for the Netherlands. And as the Rose City milers took the track earlier today, it's a real treat to have a world record holder in their midst as they race the fabled distance. And the Jesuit High School track overview, as you can see, Sifan there coming up to 2,800 meters right now, 8:21. So about 72 seconds now. As she hangs on to that roughly the 71, 72 second pace. Coming up to 3,000 meters here. She'll reach it in under 9 minutes. looking effortless at 8:57. It's the title of a Portland-based running rom-com. Effortless at 8:57. But Hassan rolling around, cruising around the track, as she does. Unpressed. There is no stress in this performance here. She is not facing any competition, and she is out here putting in a good effort as she tunes up for a championship season. Fans coming into the stands to get a glimpse of this world-class, multiple Olympic gold medalist and world record holder. Just casually out for a neighborhood cruise here at Jesuit High School. And Zarbo still leading Hannah Branch and Lindsay Adams. They're clicking off anywhere from 77s to 82nd laps, as 3,000 was reached for them in 9:45. But down the back straight here, Sifan Hassan again, 3,600 meter mark, 10:46. So a 72.4 roughly for Sifan there. Zarbo, 77 for her. Hannah Branch following her, and then Lindsay Adams. And coming back around, there's Sifan again. Just absolutely cruising. So a 72.69 for Sifan Hassan. And coming down the back stretch, she'll be at 4K. Right now, 11:58. Another 72.4 for Sifan. And it's our pleasure to bring you this live stream for free today. We're very pleased to do that. Not all of our meets are broadcast for free, but this meet, there's no prize money involved. It's simply a tune-up for athletes. So we thought, what the heck? Let's put it out there and give the people what they want. Track for all. And here's Sifan Hassan coming in, 2 laps remaining inside 800 meters. Clock at around 12:35 for 4,200 meters. 73.0. We just keep thinking one of these years we'll get some competition for Sifan Hassan out here as she chases this 5,000 meter standard. But to be fair, there aren't too many people that can compete with Sifan Hassan anywhere in the world. 73 reaching that lap mark as well. 600 meters remaining. Under that now as she laps her competitors. Zarbo giving her the inside. She's deserved that with all of her accolades. Coming up here, we'll see if we see something special from Sifan Hassan as she comes up to the bell lap. Time on the clock, 13:47, and they ring the bell for her. We'll see if this workout calls for any kind of speed change over the last 400 meters or not, or if she's just going to be content to cruise into the finish at her 71, 72 second clip. But as we said last year, tuning up for the World Championships, Sifan Hassan ran 15:13 here in her season opener. But this year, it's going to be a tad faster than that, as she's under 200 meters to go. 14:23 on the clock. We'll see what she can close this down in. Can she sneak under that 15-minute mark? Of course she can. Does she want to at this point is an entirely other question. And now bringing it onto the home stretch, your London Marathon champion, double Olympic gold medalist. Now she's sprinting it out and cruising in, arms pumping to the tape. Oh yeah, getting a 14:54 on the clock to her name, heading into championship season. 14:55.05 officially, closing it out in 67:19. So a good mark for the bio there for Sifan Hassan, whose best time is 14:22 in this event, but a nice 14:55 outing here in Portland. It's nothing to sneeze at. And they're just taking it all in. The champ. Getting ready for Budapest later this year. In 2 months' time. So three more runners out on the track now. Ah, there we go. Smile from Sifan. Thumbs up. All in a day's work. We'll get a glimpse of when she went to the arms down the home stretch here. This is as much effort as we saw her exert throughout the entire 12.5 lap stretch. And getting the finishing tape there. Beautiful. Incredible work. As we get to the 800s and 1500s, we might have to stretch that tape out a little further if we get some blanket finishes, which we're known for here in Portland. But we've got women finishing now on the track. That was Zarbo coming across 16:25, or changed to 16:28 there. Hannah Branch 16:30, and Lindsay Adams cruising in here. We'll see what the time on the clock is as she approaches. The crowd gives her a hand. All right. About 16:54 for Lindsay Adams. So 14:55 for Sifan Hassan. A day's work here in Portland, Oregon, in a 5,000-meter opportunity that was desired by some. And many more men in the field as we get to this next event, the high-performance men's 5,000-meter race. You can see the Rose City Physical Therapy tent there on the infield. A big thanks to Rose City Physical Therapy for always coming out to Portland track events, supporting the athletes and their needs and the entire Portland community. So here we go. Here's a look at the line. It's a crowded line here for the men's 5,000-meter race. Cole Sprout in the field. A 13:24 man, 13:25 outdoors. Looking down the list, too, we've got Connor Burns. As previously stated, he ran 13:37 earlier this year at the On LA Track Fest, put on by Sound Running. And then that mark was eclipsed by Lex Young, running 13:34 at the LA Grand Prix. We got a number of Bowerman Track Club elite athletes in the field: Julian Henninger, Chase Howard, local celebs, and Jordan McIntosh on the outside, slated to pace this race as far as he can get, up to 3,000 meters. But there's Burns on the outside wearing the Nike blue singlet. The man's going to be a Duck next year, headed down to Eugene at Oregon, join Simeon Birnbaum. And they're shaping up a nice rivalry with the young twins at Stanford. A Pac-12 war brewing over the next 4 years. But a big group of men in this 5,000 meter race. Exciting to see. As we said, there are few 5,000 meter opportunities at this point in the season, this close to championships. And everybody knows nobody wants to run a 10,000 right now. But Jordan McIntosh, the Portland State steeplechaser, leading the pack in about 65 seconds through 400 meters. So a good clip. The pace that they want. And field stretching out now. Cole Sprout up there, Stanford runner. Evan Burke as well. And we got a Meade High School singlet in the field, that neon yellow back there. Love to see it. Shout out to Pat Tyson, building that program, now the coach at Gonzaga, and doing an amazing job there. One of the Northwest's great programs out of Spokane. So 66 through that lap. Burns sitting in that third position behind Burke and Sprout, and McIntosh leading the group. The flag is deathly still at the moment, coming through 2:11, 800 meters. Burns also a 3:58 miler, one of 19, I believe, sub-4 milers in high school history. First broke it last year as a junior. And has been concentrating on the longer distances, as noted by his 13:37 5,000 earlier this season. So a group of some shakeups there at the front. It looks like Alejandro Martinez potentially, if my result sheet is correct. Or excuse me, that is Orlando Cuevas. Timing sheet just updated. So 3:17, 1,200 meters, a 66 for that lap. Jordan McIntosh still doing a bang-up job up front there. Mid-830s steeplechaser. And Portland State standout. Portland community standout. The city of Portland celebrates their runners here, and he's one to definitely raise the banners for. And the crowd is pumped to be watching this. 65.5 for Burke and Sprout, Cuevas, and Burns. The field is strung out nicely. Everybody content to stay in their place and just follow the leader as they approach 1,600 meters, 4:23. So about 65.5 for that lap. Jordan McIntosh rolling 65, 66s for the boys out here. And there appears to be maybe a gap forming as the top 8 are hanging on McIntosh's pace. But no, they're tightening up that pack. And now that pack becomes about 15 again. McIntosh, Burke, Sprout, Cuevas, Burns, LaGuerra, Dylan Schubert, all on that pace. This is a crazy train out here as they hit 2,529. So another 65 high for McIntosh. And the pace is nice. And Burns now feeling it, going around, climbing up into that 4th position, 3rd racer. You can see him wearing the blue and the waving swath of red hair. Cole Sprout now in that 2nd position, right on McIntosh. And Sprout chomping at the bit. McIntosh trying to hang on, but he's stepping off because, or at least he's climbing back into 2nd place. Sprout eager to move. And this bodes well for Burns, too. It shows that there's a man in the field who is willing to take up the pace if it slows. And that was a 65 low or 64 high for that lap at 2,400 meters. McIntosh still in it, and Sprout at the front. As we said, Sprout's outdoor personal best in the 5,000 is 13:25, 13:24 indoors. And a good group of runners out front here as they round this bend. And Burns is tucked in nicely. You couldn't be in a better spot in this field if he can just hang on to Cuevas right there in that 3rd spot. Sprout bringing the pace down to 64 high. Beautiful running. Great pacing here. And it's good to see McIntosh still in there too, saying, hey, I could still help out if you need me. I'll be right here. 2,800 meters here, 7:39. Another 65-ish. And we can see, once we get to the finish line here, that'll be 3,000 meters. And then 5 laps remaining for this 5,000-meter effort. But McIntosh charged with going 3,000 meters and is doing that. And stepping off to the side, here's Sprout, 8:11 through 3,000. 64.8 for that last lap. And Sprout is gaining distance now as he starts to grit his teeth a little bit as he stares down that 3,200 meter mark. And we'll see the time on the clock when they reach that. 3,200 meters for Sprout, 8:43. For Burns, 8:45. So, 8:45, another incredible mark for a high school 3,200 meters. And he's got a bit of running left here, as this is a 5,000-meter race for a high schooler sitting there in that 3rd position. He's got to hold on. He's got to hold on to Cuevas up front because Sprout has got a gap. And Sprout is driving now as there are 4 laps remaining and 9:15 on the clock. Burns is inside 4 laps to go, and he's running 67s now, or at least that last lap was a 67. As Burns throws the hammer down, ratcheting it down to 64s. Burns starting to look a little like he's working a bit more as Sprout rounds 3,600 meters there. 9:56 for Burns at 3,600 meters. And here we go, Sprout out front. Burns is fading slightly. He's got to hold on to that group. Regardless, this will be another amazing effort. 10:21 for Sprout with 3 laps remaining. And then Cuevas in second, a 65.5 for Sprout. Burns comes through at 10:31. 10:32.09, so that was a 71-second lap for Burns with inside 3 laps to go now. Down the back straight, Cole Sprout, Stanford Cardinal. And he's not losing any pace, 65.5 on that last lap, but the stride still looks strong. And cruising right now, Cole Sprout. Rounding the bend again as he climbs onto this home straight, staring down the finish with 2 laps to go for Sprout. And 11:26 on the clock. Cuevas in tow, not far behind. 65.5 again for Sprout. And Burns is fading, but hanging tough as he's doing it. There he is. You can glimpse him on the screen. Burns sitting in that 9th position now, fading to a 73 on that lap. But Sprout out front, rolling 65s. Inside 600 meters remaining. Cuevas in second. Cuevas running 69s. And Sprout onto the home straight again. There's Burns sitting in that 9th position. Sprout. Here's the bell lap. They ring it for him, 12:32 on the clock. That was a 65.2 for Sprout at the front. And we'll see what he can close it down in. You see the splits populating on the screen there as Sprout approaches 200 meters remaining. Inside 200 meters to go for Cole Sprout, Stanford Cardinal. A member of the machine, a cog in the machine at Stanford. Famous cross-country and track distance running program there. And down on the home stretch, here comes Cole Sprout driving to the finish. And he'll finish in a 13:39 roughly as he breaks the tape. 66 for that last lap. And here comes Cuevas into the finish. 13:40s high on the clock for him. 13:48. Quincy Norman, 13:49. Dylan Schubert, 13:55. So there's your top 10. Connor Burns just outside 11th. 14:06, a valiant effort by the high school senior, 8:45 through 3,200, and a 14:06, 13:37 to his name earlier this year. But that record will stay Lex Young's for now. And there's the man, Cole Sprout, taking the victory here. On a sunny day, Portland, Oregon. Stumptown high performance victor there. And here we'll take a look at Sprout's finishing stretch. So there he is, driving down the straight solo. Just giving it everything he has. Finish it off nicely in a 13:39 performance for 5,000 meters. So 14:55 for Sifan Hassan, 13:39 for Cole Sprout. Got 2 champions for the Stumptown High Performance Meets in the books. And Stumptown began a few years back as a last chance qualifier and tune-up event for the championship season, slotted nicely 2 weeks ahead of USA Championships down in Eugene. Tracktown. And it looks like we got Cole Sprout here. Cole, can you hear me? Oh. Cole, we can hear you loud and clear. I'm doing fantastically. How are you? Yeah. How was that effort out there for you? You came through 8:11 for 3K, and then we're grinding solo.
Yeah. I mean, it felt pretty good overall. Pretty controlled up until, like the last lap or so. But, yeah, I felt the pace was lagging a little bit, so figured I'd just go out, see what I could do. Get some solo grinding,
Yeah, I feel like none of your laps were outside of that 64 to low 66 range.
Yeah.
So that shows great fitness. What's up next for you?
Well, now I'm pretty much just getting prepped for the U.S. Championship 10K, seeing what I can do out there.
What's the goal?
I mean, the big goal is to make the team. The realistic low bar goal is to, hang as long as I can, get as good a placement as I can. Top 15, top 20, that'll be ideal. Top 10 even,
All you need is a shot, my man. You did a great job here today, and thanks for coming out and putting on a performance for the crowd.
Oh, thank you for having me. Great energy. I loved it.
Yeah, please go enjoy a breakfast burrito now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm about to throw one down.
All right. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Cole Sprout, everybody. Look for him in the 10,000 at the USA Championships. Running those tight splits, 64 to 66, and out there solo grinding. It bodes well for a good performance for him in that 10,000 meter race. But U.S. distance running is no joke at the moment. 5,000 and 10,000 meters are stacked. You could say that about every single discipline now. It just keeps getting harder and harder to make that Team USA, and every time we put a team out there to compete on the world stage, it's one of the best teams in the world. It is the best team in the world. So that team will be shaping up at Hayward Field in 2 weeks' time. Here on the track, before we get to the 800 meters Stumptown sections, this is the top heat of the women's Rose City Mile. So local competitors here. And there we go. Great graphics production value there. Thank you very much to JJ Vasquez for that. But yeah, you get a glimpse of the competitors here. BTC Elite Athletes, Little Wing Athletics, Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club represented, Rose City Track Club too. So Rose City Mile is one of the favored races on the calendar in Portland every year. And Teresa Haley there on the line wearing number 175. She's already qualified for the Marathon Championships in Orlando next year. And I believe that she is the 2-time defending champion of the Rose City Mile, running around 450. I think her stated goal is to get under that 450 mark today. So everybody getting a good wave. And the women are off and running now. 4 laps, starting at that mile marker, mile start line, 9 meters behind the finish. So we got Joanna Gretschel in here too, the Bat City Track Club, Tara Welling, BTC Elite, Lucy Brookham, Rose City Track Club, Sarah Klecker, Lindsay Morse, and Sarah Jane Foreman of the BTC Elite. Carolyn Gilchrist, Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club, and Olivia Cotby coming back for her third race of the day. She ran the Open 5,000 earlier today and then paced a friend in one of the earlier sections of the Rose City Mile. And now jumping back in just for some good old fun in the top heat of this Rose City Mile. That looks like it could be Joanna Gretschel out front and Lindsay Morse. The BTC athletes in this field, coached by world-famous coach Elliot Heath. And Sarah Klecker coming up on the outside there. Teresa Haley now takes over the lead as they come through in about 75 seconds. So there's some jockeying for position, as this is well within the comfort zone of these athletes who are aiming for that sub 450 pace. So we could see a blistering finish here in this top section of the Rose City Mile. We will also see a blistering race in the Stumptown High Performance top heat of the 1500 later today, as defending U.S. champion Sinclaire Johnson toes the line against another stacked field. But Haley moving out front, Sarah Klecker to her outside, and that's Tara Welling there too. A lot of these athletes competed in the Portland versus Seattle 3000 a couple weeks ago at the Portland Track Festival. Portland taking the Cascadia Axe back from Seattle, 69 points to 153 points in the combined scored women and men's 3,000 meters. That is a tradition here in the Pacific Northwest. Through half mile in about 2:27, I believe. Maybe 2:26 as the splits go from finish to finish. Klecker stepping down on the pace as she logs a 70 there. And a good string of competitors here as the five have separated themselves. And Teresa Haley, with that marathon strength, takes over the lead once again. But Tara Welling goes with her. And Gretschel, too, on the outside. So now the race is on in what is the toughest lap of the mile, the third lap. Athletes are toughing it out here as they make their way around the bend. Teresa Haley driving the train, Tara Welling in tow. And coming up to the bell lap here, we'll get a glimpse of what this lap was. 3:39 on the clock. Teresa Haley up front. 72-second lap for her from tape to tape. And there is no separation here. Inside 300 meters to go as they pass the 1500 start line. Haley now bearing down, trying to give what she has. But Tara Welling, a bit more leg speed there than the marathoner. Welling herself, also a U.S. Marathon Champs qualifier. And Gretschel, not letting a gap form, has hitched her wagon to Tara Welling around the bend. And we'll see if Tara Welling can hold her off as they roll around the bend here at Jesuit High School, home of American records. Tara Welling onto the final stretch. And now she's pumping the arms, trying to hold on to that victory. There's got to be some kind of gift certificate that she gets for this. 4:49 unofficially. Tara Welling, your Rose City Mile champion, just under that 450 mark. Joanna Gretschel, 452. Teresa Haley, 453. Cameron Weber, Katie Farrell, Lindsay Morse. 8 women under that 5-minute mark. So great running by the Portland community here. Bat City Track Club out of Austin, too. So we're keeping the weird cities together. And there's Liam Mayrow down there, the Team USA trail athlete, sub 4 miler, getting some footage. Leo Chang also there, a Nike designer who designed our TIFO banner at the Portland Track Festival, seen on the broadcast. But we're following Tara Welling now. After her victory, formerly Tara Erdman, married to Jordan Welling in the community now, who is one of the organizers, the chief organizer of the Portland team, Portland versus Seattle 3K. And we'll go to a replay here to check out Tara Welling's commanding victory. There she goes, moving down the straight. Gretschel just doesn't have enough, and Tara Welling uses her strength to extend that lead and clock just under 450, 449.95. Great performance. And now, the top heat of the men's Rose City Mile. Before we get to the high-performance 800 and 1,500 meter sections of the Stumptown high-performance meet. We're gonna chat with Tara Welling before we head to the men's race, and we'll see if she's ready for us.
We're cutting camera 4. We're ready for interview.
Tara, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Oh, can she not hear him?
We are having some audio difficulties here, but here
Make sure C is on.
we're making sure the right buttons are pushed. Tara, can you hear me?
Welcome once again to Rose City Mile.
Man, this is like a collect call here.
It's been an amazing day.
We'll come back to that. We'll see if we can get a hold of Tara on the other line when we get a chance.
Let's hear it for these athletes who come out and run.
But here we go. This is the men's top heat of the Rose City Mile. A great running tradition here in the grand city of Portland. Some call it Track City, others the Landia, Tracklandia. Okay, I think we're going to go down to Tara Welling now. Tara, can you hear me? We're making sure the right buttons are getting pushed. Well, bear with us here as we navigate these technical aspects. And there's Tara again. Can you hear me? Tara!
Yes.
Yeah, we got you, finally. Hey, all we were doing was trying to give you some time to catch your breath.
Oh, yeah, totally. Thanks.
Yeah, how are you feeling after that victory there?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I came into the race just looking to have some fun and run some faster time than I've been used to with marathon training. So had a whole group of girls out here to make that happen.
So you're in marathon training, training for Orlando coming up, but you had a great race at the Portland versus Seattle 3K.
Yeah.
And now a win in 4:49 in the mile. How do you attribute that to do you attribute that to the coaching of the great Elliot Heath?
Oh yes, Elliot Heath takes all the credit for sure. You know, we just come out and do what he says. So it's all Elliot. But no, I have a good group of girls to train with, and this track season has been a lot of fun. It's been a few years since I've been on the track and really made a season out of it. So I had fun with the 3K and the mile today.
Any more short distance racing for you, or are you looking to the marathon from here on out?
Yeah, primarily marathon training. I'll do a 5-miler on 4th of July just for fun. But yeah, just kind of starting to shut the season down now and prep for Orlando.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing you out on the roads, and congrats on your victory here.
Thank
and
you.
sub 450 clocking.
Thank you.
All right, and we're back here. The top heat of the Rose City Mile. You got the results for the women on the bottom ticker bar there. And it is a packed heat. We got entrants for this race anywhere from 4:10 to 4:30, so who knows what could happen. Jacuzzi Boys in here making some bubbles. Team Red Lizard, Mount Tabor XC, the tiny volcano. Mount Tabor, for those who don't know, is an active volcano. Well, dormant. but is inside city limits in Portland and is a great park. And they have a good track club. So, first lap here. We're approaching in 63 seconds for the front runners. 65 to the finish line, so we'll call it 63, 64 for Max Worley. Zach Knapp back there. Kevin Flynn of the Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club. Doesn't appear that there are BTC Elite athletes in this field. Everybody knows that BTC Elite and the Jacuzzi Boys are mortal enemies. But we saw a few of them in the high performance 5,000 meters. We got Max Worley wearing the Idaho singlet up front, pushing the pace. Or excuse me, that looks like Zach Knapp. And here we go, coming up to half mile, the Rose City Mile, 2:08, roughly 4:16 pace. So the two, Knapp and Worley out front with a gap of about 10 to 15 meters back to third place. But we know a lot of these boys like to kick, so we'll see if they can stay close enough to use that leg speed in the final lap. But Knapp doesn't want that to happen, and he's extending his lead, trying to do what he can to distance himself from Max Worley. Wearing that Maryland singlet, running for Terp runners. So flew all the way out here to Portland from Maryland just to race this Rose City Mile Championship event. And now glimpsing back, hold on to that second place position, but this is Zach Knapp coming up to 3/4 of a mile, reaching the bell lap here in about 3:13. So 3:14 to the finish line, 3:13 through 3/4 of a mile, and Knapp at the front with a big gap down the back stretch. And it looks like Worley's position could be in jeopardy as Alex Foote is challenging him. And now Alex Foote makes the pass to go around Worley into that second position. But we'll see if he has enough to get to Knapp. It doesn't appear so at the moment, as he is yet to be on the screen. There he is, storming around the bend. Knapp still has a good lead. We'll see if he can hold on to it here as the Golden Retriever looks on. Here comes Zach Knapp down the straight. Alex Foote doing what he can to catch him, but no, it's not going to happen. Knapp holds on. 4:18.3 for Zach Knapp for the victory. 4:18.72 for Alex Foote. A great performance from Rob McLaughlin, the Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club runner, 4:23. Max Worley holds on, 4:25. Powell Butte Boulevard Track Club represented by Tucker Swinth, 4:29. There he is, your Rose City Mile champion of 2023, ladies and gentlemen, Zach Knapp. Get a good glimpse. That does it for the Rose City Mile sections here today, and now it is strictly Stumptown high performance time. We'll have heats of the 800 meters for men and women and heats of the 1,500 meters remaining. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, there will be some doubling going on from the top stars. Getting ready for the rounds at the championships. You want to be able to race on tired legs. And that's what Konstanze Klosterhalfen is going to do today, running the 800 meter first, and then the 1,500. And then in the rematch between Amon Kemboi and Cole Hocker, They will first face off in the 800 before towing the line again in the 1500 to duel it out on tired legs. And here we got your replay of Zach Knapp, your champion of the Rose City Mile. Top section, Alex Foote doing what he can to close that down. Let's see if we have Alex Foote, 59.99 on that closing lap. Not quite enough. Knapp is 63.9 on the close. Alex Foote, the only man of the day so far to get under 60 seconds on that closing lap, which will no doubt be something we'll see in the 1500 later today. We could see it from Sinclaire Johnson too. Famously did it in her U.S. Champs victory last year, running 4:03 and closing in a sub 60. So I think we're getting ready to talk to Zach Knapp potentially about his Rose City Mile victory. Zach, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you all right.
Oh, first try. Great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, congrats on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It feels nice to win, and especially to lead from gun to tape. It felt pretty good.
Yeah, how was that stretching it out in the second half of the race? What was that third lap like?
The third lap, I went through 800 at I think it was 209 or something, and I was like, oh, I'm way off pace. So I was like, all right, let's kick it in and try to extend this gap and try to just, run a good last half. So it felt good. It was hard, but it felt good.
Could you sense Alex Foote coming up on you at the end there?
Yeah, I did. I could kind of hear his footsteps. I was breathing pretty hard, so I could really hear that. But as soon as I crossed the finish line, he was right there, and I was like, oh, he was right there the whole time. So.
Have they told you what you won today?
No, they haven't.
Oh, man. I don't know either, so.
Oh, I don't know, no.
Yeah, you got to let us know when you find out.
All right, I will.
Yeah, I think it's probably something special.
I hope so.
But
that would be nice.
What's up next for you?
I got U.S. under 20s, racing the steeplechase. I was a qualifying time for the 15 today, through 15, but I don't think I got it. So, yeah, going for the steeplechase in U.S. under 20s, so a couple weeks from now.
Fantastic. Good luck out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. I believe, actually, before we get to the high-performance 800 sections, we might have a mixed 4x4. So 2 men and 2 women per team. And it's a new event added last year to the Rose City Mile. But we'll see. That might be slated to start at 12:40, so we have a bit of time until then. But good to be back here at Jesuit High School. A great track facility. Portland has many great track facilities that the community uses, as well as some high-performance meets that we put on throughout the year, notably the Portland Track Festival, which took place 2 weeks ago. And that was a stellar event. Very excited with everybody coming out and putting on performances that made statements in the electric forest. And really, what we try to do there is tout the wins. And what the country needs, I think, in U.S. track and field is more evergreen meets that people can look to each year and say, this is something special. This is where the top athletes are coming to compete year in and year out, and it means something to win this race. And I think that we're trying to do that with the Portland Track Festival, and it was shown this year. The community gets behind it. They love it. And we really try and celebrate each individual performance that happens there, because everybody gets to the line in a different way. And you show your true personality and your individual style and flair and swagger by how you play the game and how you navigate the field and seek out that victory for yourself. So congratulations to all the winners of that event and all the competitors who showed out. But looking down on the infield here, let's see. We got Zach Knapp there just chatting with some competitors. We got the BTC Elite women doing a cool down on the backstretch. And coming into the screen here, I see the bright blue of the Union Athletics Club. That's a young David Ribich and Charlie Hunter. Ribich getting ready to race the 1,500 meters later today. Charlie Hunter jumping in that 800, which is stacked. 144 athletes in there, Charlie Hunter being one of them. Matthew Centrowitz is in there as well. A couple beasts. Kyle Langford and Devin Dixon really riding a high on his previous 2 performances, nearly getting that win at the Portland Track Festival, but not quite getting to his teammate Josh Kerr, who eked out a 146 victory off of a 53 opening lap. So I think what's going on now is 4x4 teams are being assembled and they're getting instructions. In my humble opinion, 4x400 meter is the greatest track event that exists. I heard from my producer JJ through the headphones, just agreed with me, so it is. But you've got the combination of team working together, each individual's performance working to raise the entire group and just building on each other. And the way that you assemble your team is done in a strategic way too, based off of your competition and how they're assembling their teams. So there's a lot of analysis and pre-race strategy that can go into it, which makes the race exciting. And here in the United States, we always have the best team in the world, most years. So it's a great event for us to watch. The next race is up in about 7 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break and then be back in about 5 and get back to the action on the track. Alrighty, we are back live here. Next race up on the track is this Rose City Mile 4x400 community race. So we're gonna have this one and then get to the high performance sections of the 800s and 1500s for Stumptown. But this is a combined event, community race with the Rose City Track Club and Portland Track putting on the Stumptown high performance races. So we got a good group, collection of runners out here inspiring each other. This is a 4-team affair in the 4x4. Team Red Lizard, Team Salted Malted, Team West Coast Speed Shop, and Team Ben's Friends. And we got the athletes assembling right now on the line. We'll do as best as we can to identify the teams for you out there. Red Lizards are the ones with the red lizard on their back and the white singlet. Other than that, we will see where they line up. Ben's Friends is the guy wearing the black singlet. So this is a combined, a mixed relay. So 2 men and 2 women per team. Looks like there is a 6 being put on the chest there, so she's part of Ben's Friends. The 4 is Salted Malted. So Rose City Track Club is Salted Malted, but then there's a few on Ben's Friends as well. 3 is Team Red Lizard. And 5 is West Coast Speed Shop. Last year, the first year of the 4x4, the Rose City Mile. Up front there for Salted Malted, that's Ryan Yambra. He was on the mic for the in-stadium announcing of the Rose City Mile. Couldn't keep himself from the track. Each athlete here will run 1 lap, handing off to their teammates. So totaling 1,600 meters. So it's in line with the Rose City Mile schedule of events. We got a Dead Stock Run Club singlet there, worn by number 6 on Ben's Friends team. Dead Stock, notable running club in the community. I think their trademark is, we just like to run and kick it, which I appreciate. Here we go, Team Red Lizard right there wearing number 3. Runners are ready to go. Nobody's using blocks here in the starts. It's just standing start. And here we go, they're off. We'll do as best as we can to identify some splits for you, but might be focused just on the leader. We'll see what the timing company gives us. But Team Red Lizard out to a good start down the back stretch. And it appears that athletes will be staying in lanes or they're braking. Not sure if that is the way that it should happen or not, but that's what we're going with. And you hope everybody breaks because they can't disqualify everybody. So if everybody breaks, it's a fair fight. All right. Here we go. Team Red Lizard out front. 53 seconds on the clock as he's coming down the stretch. The hammies are feeling it, no doubt. Handing off to his Team Red Lizard teammate. Right about 60 seconds. And then here we have Salted Malted and West Coast Speed Shop in 4th. So Team Red Lizard, Ben's Friends, Salted Malted, West Coast Speed Shop. Red Lizard still out front and has a big gap right now. Hitting the 200-meter mark. And rounding the bend here the stride's still looking good. So what we have here, a lot of these athletes are not accustomed to running the 400 meters. Many of them are not accustomed to running the mile, road racers primarily, and this is a chance for them to really show off the jets to their friends and family. And here we go. A great leg there. Looks like a 64-second leg. 2:04 at the handoff. Okay, so we have some splits. That was a 63.9 for Team Red Lizard. And now handing off. I believe that was West Coast Speed Shop. So a great leg from them, 69 seconds to come back into that second place position. But out front here, this is Team Red Lizard with under 200 meters to go. A 100-meter gap on second place. So Team Red Lizard sitting pretty right now in this Rose City Mile 4x400. Cruising, making her way onto the home stretch, into the final handoff. We got teammates circling back to give her some encouragement as she comes up to the line here, looking good. No hint of slowing down, handing off to her male teammate at 3:14. We'll see what the split is there. So about a 70-second split, 70:03. And at this point, I would think that getting under 4 minutes would be a tall order, unless this guy really has some wheels he's hiding. But he's looking great. Hitting that 200-meter mark. Striding out. And he's really pushing it here. We'll see what he has left to give on the home stretch. That's what I'm talking about. There is not a hint of wind in sight. The flag is standing still, but his singlet is blowing all over the place, just showing you how fast he's moving. Coming up to the line here, Team Red Lizard, 4:11 for the victory, hands up. 57:03 on the close. There you have it, Team Red Lizard, the Rose City Mile 4x4 champions of 2023. And now it looks like this could be Salted Malted coming up, or Ben's Friends. Salted Malted, 4:36 with a 66 close, and then a close finish. Ben's Friends just edging out West Coast Speed Shop. 4:44 and 4:45. There you have it, your 4x4. And we'll get a glimpse of that epic close of Team Red Lizard with their anchor runner here. Just doing it for the team with his 57:03 close. And he didn't have to, but he did. Put the arms up for a 4:11.59. Great victory for the squad. Team Red Lizard, storied club in the city too. They put on the Stumptown Cross Country Series in the fall every year. A series of 4 to 5 races, culminating with the Pier Park race, which is always a good one. 8K for men, 6K for women. But all the local clubs come out to do that. And I would say that's even something if you're looking to travel in, have a nice fall weekend in Portland, come out for one of those. Pier Park typically takes place in early November, cap off the cross-country season here. So now that we've closed out the Rose City Mile events, the 4x4, we turn our attention to the high-performance races of the Stumptown High-Performance Meet. And next up on the track, we will have the women's high-performance sections of the 800 meters. Those are slated to go off in 2 minutes at 12:50. So some great fields assembled here. Nia Akins is coming back after her victory at the Portland Track Festival over Raevyn Rogers. Akins clocking a World Championship standard in that race, and a first victory ever for the Brooks Beasts on the women's side in the 800 meters at the Portland Track Festival. So something that the team celebrated there. We've got 2 heats of the high performance 800 today. Top heat will have Kenna Keegan of the Nike Union Athletics Club, Michaela Meyer of the Nike Union Athletics Club, Lori Barton and Nia Akins of the Brooks Beasts, Anna Camp Bennett in the field, Konstanze Klosterhalfen, the first leg of her double today. She'll run the 800 and the 1500. I have just been told that the next race will be at 1:10 today. So we have 20 minutes until the next race, but I could see on the screen that the winners of the 4x4 are ready for an interview. So, guys, this is Team Red Lizard. Give me each of your names because we did not have that on the start list.
We're going to go through our names. Introduce yourself.
Megan Taylor. I'm Jesse Riggle.
Leo Perez.
I'm Alex Madison.
Right on. So what was the team strategy going into this race? We saw that we had the men bookending the situation here, but strong legs from everybody all around. What was the goal?
The plan out there was not to fall over after a mile. You just baton around the track and not crash. Oh, they're fixing my microphone.
There we
plan
go.
to not fall over. It was the real technical race strategy.
Mission accomplished. And how are you going to celebrate your victory today?
How am I going to celebrate? Well, I'm going to Beer Fest over at Edgefield after this. I'm going to drink the rest of the day, but that's how I'm going to end my season on a strong note.
That's a great way to celebrate. Who's playing at Edgefield? Is there a
It's
band?
Brew Fest. So they got all the local breweries going to be out there. It's like $30 and you get like unlimited beer, I think. So it's going to be a good time.
Epic. This is a great plug from McMenamins to everybody worldwide too. Hey, congratulations to you all on your victory today. I hope the hammies are going to be feeling good tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, go celebrate.
You have a great rest of your day.
All right. The victors going to McMenamins to Edgefield out in Troutdale. On the edge of the gorge out there. Beautiful Columbia River Gorge. Throw back some beers at Beer Fest. Great way to cap off the day. But of course, they're going to stick around for these Stumptown high performance sections before they get there. And before we get there, which the next race will take place at 1:10, we're going to take a break. We'll be back at 1:08 to get ready for the high performance sections. So you can get up, get some snacks, use the restroom, and we will see you back here in about 16 minutes.
right, see ya, top guys.
Thanks again, everyone, for coming out. Just a reminder that we have about 10 minutes until the next our schedule, the PDX track high performance event. I am Ryan Nutter. I'm here with my co-host, Tom Hyman. We are just 10 minutes away from the PDX track high performance event. It's been a busy day for us. We started early this morning with the Rosebud race, followed by the Open 5K put on by Portland Track, and then we went into the Masters Mile. We had many heats for the Rose City Mile, and an additional high performance heat for the 5K with both the men and women, and the mixed 4x4 as well. And now we cruise into the additional events, starting with the 800. Thanks once again to our sponsors for today's event. The premier sponsors are Dennis Health Portland and The Athletic, followed by Soul Chiropractic, North Lake Physical Therapy, Any Distance, and Power Bump. The Athletic is here, our favorite sportswear company, home of the PDX Airport Carpet Shop. And did you know that they also have a special sock for Rose City Mile with the rose on it? Go check out the Athletic gear tent, get some socks, get some apparel, check them out. And Adventist Health is an OHSU health partner, a faith-based nonprofit healthcare network consisting of a 302-bed medical center, 27 medical clinics, and home care and hospice services here in the Portland metro area. They aim to transform the health and experience of the community by providing physical, mental, and spiritual health, and enhancing interactions and making care more accessible and affordable.
You said it. I'm sorry. This was coming your way. It's okay. Seems like they're starting with that. We have Soul Chiropractic in the house. Soul Chiropractic is a chiropractic and coaching clinic specializing in helping runners recover from injuries while training for better longevity and joy. So make sure to stop by and say hello to our friend Rachel at Soul Chiropractic in the tent. And thank you also to our friends at Sizzle Pie, keeping folks fueled for today's event. Folks, I've been informed that today's Rose City Mile is the largest Rose City Mile in history. Thank you, folks, for making this year's Rose City Mile a success. Rose City Track, folks, pat yourselves on the back.
Welcome back, track fans. We are here getting ready for the high-performance sections of the Stumptown high-performance Portland track meet. And first up, we will have the women's 800-meter race. And I've been told that we have combined sections there, so there will be one women's high-performance 800, followed by the high-performance 800s for the men, as you can see them striding out down the back stretch now. And then we'll move on to the high-performance sections of the 1500s. But if you joined us at the beginning of the day, you know that there's going to be some doubling going on, getting ready for championship season, so something to look out for there. In the women's races, particularly Konstanze Klosterhalfen, the German athlete, will be doubling in the 800 and 1500, getting the legs ready for rounds in the championship season. And then our men, Amon Kemboi and Cole Hocker, will be doubling in the 800 and 1500. And reprising their battle of at the Portland Track Festival, where they went to the line and 2/100ths of a second separated them. Kemboi getting the victory in 3:34.12, and Hocker runner-up 3:34.14. So we'll see what they can do today. But here's a look at the women as they prepare for their 800 meters, getting some shade out there. There's absolutely no wind to speak of here at the track, and it is 72 degrees outside, so perfect for 800-meter racing. You can see Kendra Chambers there, Nia Akins, 1:59.2 at the Portland Track Festival, grabbing that world standard time and defeated Raevyn Rogers. Anna Camp Bennett there. We also have Michaela Meyer in the field. There's Coco, Konstanze Klosterhalfen, owner of many German national records. So a loaded field, a number of athletes in here at 2 flat or under. Nia Akins on the screen there. The Brooks Beast, Michaela Meyer. 1:58 runner, Konstanze Klosterhalfen, a sub-2 athlete herself, and a great 5,000-meter runner, Anna Camp Bennett, obscured by the field list. But there's a full view of the competitors who are assembling here at Jesuit High School in Portland, Oregon. One of the finest tracks in the state. Home of American records here. If you joined us early on in 2020, you saw the original big friendly race here where Donovan Brazier ran 3:35 in the 1500, closing in 52 seconds. So there's been some magic that's happened on this track. Matt Centrowitz has run 3:49 here. But now we have a great 800 about to take place under absolutely perfect conditions. Sarah Van Dyke, the Cal Coast Track Club in lane 1, Anna Camp Bennett, Vadida's lane 2, Konstanze Klosterhalfen, Michaela Meyer, Nia Akins, Kendra Chambers, Malia Menegatti, Caitlin Ryan, McKenna Ramsey, Anna Connor. 10 athletes in the field. And the whistle has been blown. The women step to the line. And here they go. We anticipate that the pace for this race is most likely slated for a 58-second opening quarter. And Kendra Chambers getting a good start, as well as Nia Akins. Akins out front. She gets to the lead safely there as Kendra Chambers chucks into her outside. And we'll see what 200 meters says. 28 seconds on the clock. And it's real racing here, as there doesn't appear to be a rabbit in the field. Akins very confident these days after her victory at the Portland Track Festival, where she passed on the inside to get around Olympic and World Championship medalist Raevyn Rogers. And now Nia Akins commands this field as they get to 400 meters in about 59 seconds, and they ring the bell for the women. You could see the splits up there. Akins up front, and it'll be a hard close here. Akins still has a bit of daylight. Back to Anna Camp-Bennett in second. And Malia Menegatti in third right now, making a move around Anna Camp-Bennett. Kendra Chambers in fourth. Menegatti moving well, wearing that what appears to be a Boise State uniform. Nia Akins has a clear gap on the field, though, and she looks fantastic as she comes onto the home stretch. A very powerful runner and running confidently now. She's found her stride this year, and it'll be great to see what she can do in the latter parts of the season. 159 unofficially, another sub-2, 159.76 for Nia Akins, who looks very good heading into the championship season and USA's in a few weeks' time. Anna Camp-Bennett holds on there, comes back for a 202.9. Menegatti 202.93. Michaela Meyer 204.5. Anna Connor 205.6. So good racing by the women. Chalk another one up for Nia Akins of the Brooks Beasts, coming down from Seattle, and we'll catch a glimpse here of her final stretch. Akins, very strong, and it looks like if there were challengers, she would be able to dispatch them today. Keeping very composed. And getting ready for a little chat right now. We'll see. We'll get the okay when she can hear us. But already ready for a talk, even after that effort. Nia, can you hear me? Nia, fantastic run. This is your second win in Portland in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What was the goal coming in today, and mission accomplished?
Mission accomplished. The goal was to come in. I'm used to being in the back and sitting there, and so to try to run from the front and win it and go sub-2. So I'm happy.
What have you attributed your confidence to this season? You came in, you made that famous pass on the inside to go around Raevyn Rogers at the Portland Track Festival, and now running very confidently and with ease up front here. What have you changed, and what do you look forward to going into this championship season?
Geez, I don't know that I've changed anything. I think it's just been kind of like a natural progression under Danny, and like over time you just confidence in where you're at, fitness. So, yeah.
Well, I know early on when you joined the team, they gave you the nickname Baby Beast. Is that still the moniker you go by, or is there a new one?
No, there isn't a new one yet. I think it's just Beast now. I just couldn't be happier.
Not a baby anymore. You're full on beast mode.
We're all grown up now.
Well, congratulations and good luck in a couple weeks at USA's.
Thank you.
Full on beast mode for Nia Akins. She is off and running and ready for the championship season. Next up on the track here, we have the men's high performance sections of the 800 meters. And there will be a few heats of that. I believe 3 to be exact. And stacked fields as I look at them. A couple high schoolers jumping into that first heat here, but no slouches. William Heslam, 149.8. He was the mile champion from Arcadia earlier this year. And a Roosevelt athlete. We have Miles Smith in this field. Colin Dilla Jared Gilly, Spencer Brown, the athlete special, jumping in here. Connor Hathaway in the field, and we're going down the opposite direction of what I'm announcing them. So that is not William Heslam in lane 1. Heslam is in lane 2. So we'll see what he can do. Ran around 150, I believe, or maybe right at 150 at the Portland Track Festival as a high schooler. So here we go. Section 3 of the men's 800 is off and running, and it is perfect 800-meter running weather here in Portland. So we'll see. There will be fireworks here in these races. It is a blanket start, and we'll see who gets the pole as they get to the curve. But 26 high at 200 meters, so it's a good pace, and that looks like Spencer Brown in the pink singlet out front. And we'll see what these men do as they come to the start 400-meter mark in roughly 55 seconds, so plenty of run left in their legs. And you want to see what the high schooler can do on this now, because he's a strong athlete. He's been known to negative split before and has a furious kick. I think he closed in 55 seconds for that win at Arcadia in the mile. But here we go, blasting down the back stretch. 55 was a great way to kick this off because it leaves plenty of running to do in their legs. 123 thereabouts for 600. And we'll see what this final 200 meters has in store. On to the home stretch. And they're all kicking like crazy. But there's one man up front here. And can anybody get to him? I don't think they will. And he'll close in under 150. So a 55.7 opener, followed by a 53.81 for Colin Dilla, your champion of Heat 3. Incredible 800-meter running. Fantastic. Jared Gilly also with a negative split. The top... It appears that the top 5 runners have negative split this race. 55.73 followed by 53.81 for Colin Dilla, and you see him here holding off Jared Gilly and Miles Smith, who both had great races, negative splitting themselves. 55.5, 54.76 for Jared Gilly, and 56.6 followed by 53.8 for Miles Smith. So here we are moving on to the second heat of the men's 800. And we're going to give you picture-in-picture here because we're talking to Colin Dilla right after his victory.
Go for it.
And Colin, how was that? You negative split that like a madman.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if I had to press the talk button or not. I slow race, so runners like to run an 800. They like to go out in last place, and most of us are probably just some distance runners. So I knew with the last 200, I had to like really send it to make sure I snuck under that 150 barrier again.
Well, you look strong and powerful and capable of anything, and it looks like you're well within striking distance of a few seconds faster than that.
Yeah, I think so.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right, back to the track here for the second heat of the men's 800 meters. We're coming up to the first lap in roughly 51 seconds. So a bit faster than the previous heat, 52 seconds to be exact. But Luca Chatham at the front, Dan Watke as well. And that's Luca Chatham down the back straight. And this will be an excellent 600-meter split. It looks like 1:19. And what can they do here as they round the bend? A lot of men in contention. A good pack. Can Luca Chatham hold the inside as he's getting a challenge on the outside from a few different competitors? It is a blanket. Look at Matt Wisner on the outside as well. Storming down the straight. This is Wisner in lane 4 from the Oregon Track Club, taking the victory in 1:47 mid, 1:47.34 officially. Dan Watke comes up for second, 1:47.7. So another strong performance from Matt Wisner, who ran 3:36 for a PR recently down in Eugene. After running 3:37 for Heat 2 at the Portland Track Festival, he runs 53.6 and 53.7 for his 2 laps here in the 800. And look at this, coming from back, passing in lane 4 on the outside as they go 6 wide down the straight. Wisner has enough run in his legs to overtake the field and cross in style, as he always does. And I'm told that he is also doubling today and will come back to race the 1500 later in the afternoon. So we'll give him his space until then. But here, as we get a glimpse of the starting line for the top heat of the men's 800, it is a who's who of the Northwest's best. Elliot Cook comes back after running 1:46 at Portland Track Festival. Cole Hocker, after opening in 3:34, running 1:46 recently down at Hayward Field. Matthew Centrowitz on the starting line, the 2016 Olympic champion in the 1500. Charlie Hunter in here, the 144 man for the Nike Union Athletics Club. Kyle Langford, 144 man. Devin Dixon riding high off of a victory at Hayward Field recently, and then a second place finish at the Portland Track Festival. Christian Harrison comes in, winning the second heat at the Portland Track Festival. Amon Kemboi on the line. He is your Portland Track Festival 1500-meter champion this year, narrowly defeating Cole Hocker, who came screaming down the stretch like a banshee to try and overtake him, but couldn't quite get there. Drew Piazza rounds out the field, known for his exploits at Virginia Tech. And that is your men's 800, a stacked field in perfect conditions here in Portland. And here we go. This race will be rabbited by Travis Thompson, slated to go out 50 to 51 seconds. And we'll see who slots into position as they come down the backstretch. Thompson eases ahead, gets in front of the field, just as expected, and that looks like Charlie Hunter in the beautiful Union Athletics blue. About 25 flat through 200 meters. Charlie Hunter behind Travis Thompson, the pacer, and rounding on to the straight. Christian Harrison in that third position behind Hunter, and then Kyle Langford, Drew Piazza, Devin Dixon sitting back looking very comfortable. 51 seconds at the bell. 51.8 for Charlie Hunter. And now it's Hunter and then Harrison, Kyle Langford back in the pack, and Drew Piazza. Look out for Devin Dixon, though. And also look out for Cole Hocker. Devin Dixon has been honing his kick over the last 2 races of this season, and we know Cole Hocker's, it is infamous. So as they reach 600 meters in around 118 high, the entire field is still in contention with Charlie Hunter at the front. Hunter and Harrison, and now Dixon on the outside. Watch Dixon. The man has split under 44 seconds for 400 meters on a relay, and it is Dixon trying to get to Cole or Charlie Hunter, and Cole Hocker trying to get to him, but Dixon eases up at the line to take it. 145.98 officially. Another negative split. Dixon sat back in the pack, 53.05, as the leaders went through in 51 high and then closed in 52.9. That is incredible strength. This is a man to watch out for to make the team this year. He has all the tools to be able to do it, and now he's learning how to race. He's holding off one of the best kickers in the world here, Cole Hocker, and easing away and easing up at the line to run 145.98. Devin Dixon is a name to remember, and he's doing it for the Brooks Beasts here. So we know that is the first leg of the journey for Cole Hocker and Amon Kemboi. Cole Hocker running 146.32, Kemboi running 146.99, and they'll come back in the 1500. But before we get there, Devin Dixon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right
Yes,
on,
sir.
man. Hey, are you good to talk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
What do you
Catch my breath?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do some talking and then you can answer. But what do you attribute this turnaround, this magical season to? You've been closing like crazy and just looking effortless doing it.
Honestly, I wouldn't call it magical, just pure hard work. Try to put my head down, put in the work, try to focus on popularity, how I look, just focus on the fundamentals, focus on the toughness, focus on the hard work and grit. And have teammates like Kyle Langford and Isaiah Harris makes it so much easier.
Do you know that you ran 145 and you negative split today, going 53.52? How does that make you feel?
Really good, really good. I'm not gonna lie, the first start was kind of crap, but finishing off like that, fantastic. I knew I had more in the gas. I just needed to start turning it on before everybody else started turning it on, so ended up working out.
And you got a great team around you, and it feels like there's a lot of good energy going into the championships.
Absolutely, ready to go, ready to attack.
Nice. Well, good luck out there, and I hope you enjoy this win, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. You have a good one.
Devin Dixon, ladies and gentlemen, a name to remember. So here we go. We are turning our attention to the first heat of the men's 1500 on the line. And here they are off. So this is section 3 of the men's 1500. We'll go 3, 2, 1. And you can see the competitors there. A couple high school guys in here. Wes Shipsey of Central Catholic. Aaron Lakeman. Wes Shipsey slated under the Nike Union Athletics Club there. I didn't know there was a signing. Shipsey recently ran 150 at the Portland Track Festival, knocking 3 seconds off his best, and then went over to Austria to run in the under-20 World Trail Championships. So he's got range. Let's hope the legs are ready for a 15. I'm sure they are. Liam Walsh at the front, followed by Shipsey. William Laird behind him. Getting to 400 meters now in about 62 seconds. Walsh leading down the backstretch. Aaron Lakeman in here too, from Tigard, or Tualatin, of the famed running Lakeman family. And it looks like Jordan McIntosh is leading this race, coming back from his pacing duties in the 5,000, where he brought everybody through in about 8:11 through 3,000 meters. Looking back, making sure everyone's still with him here. McIntosh with Liam Walsh behind him. Wes Shipsey. So we're getting towards the 800-meter mark as they come up to the start line. And that'll be reached in about 2:02. So 62, then 60. Bringing the pace down Kip Yegon style. And McIntosh has stepped off, and now it is Liam Walsh at the front. And Wes Shipsey behind him. Ben Ballage in that 4th position. He's a freshman at the University of Oregon, but a Portland native. And he is looking extremely good in that bright green top, looking relaxed as they come through the bell in about 2:50 or 2:49. 2:50 officially at the bell. That was a 61-second lap. And about 3:04 at the bell, or at the 1,200 meter mark, excuse me. So Wes Shipsey battling right now with Liam Walsh, but Shipsey takes the lead. But it looks like Walsh wants it right back from him. And now Walsh goes around Shipsey again. And so does Laird. But it is Walsh and Laird right now. Walsh and Laird, Laird and Walsh. Who's it going to be? Coming to the line. 3:47 unofficially. 3:48.05 for Liam Walsh, who gets the nod. And then William Laird, 3:48.42. It didn't look that. Or 3:48.08, excuse me. A 58-second close for Walsh, a 57.7 close for Laird. Shipsey rewarded with a 3:49 for his efforts, and he holds off Benjamin Ballage, 3:49.6. And here's the final straight again. Walsh and Laird separated by 3/100ths of a second. What an effort there by Walsh to hold on to that lead. And as we move on, we've gotten to the women's section 2 of the 1500 up next. We get a good look at Walsh there, taking it all in. 3:48 for the win in the first heat of the 1500. And here we get a glimpse of the start list for the first heat of the women's 1500. Final heat will take place later today. Notable name, if you haven't seen on the list here, Raevyn Rogers, one of the top 800-meter runners in the world, is jumping in to see what she can do in the 15 here, as well as Lori Barton, 800-meter runner for the Brooks Beasts, too, trying her 1,500-meter chops. Raevyn Rogers, a 1:56 800-meter runner, world and Olympic medalist for the Nike Union Athletics Club. And she has a 4:15 best in the 1500. So we'll see what she can do if she can bring that down today. And that'll be a good indication of what kind of shape she's in heading into USA's in a couple weeks. Because we know that you need a lot of strength to head through the rounds in the 800 and make it to that final to be able to make the team. And Raevyn is notorious for hanging back and coming on with a full head of steam down the home stretch at the end of the race. So getting this 1,500 in her legs will help her as she aims to do just that at the USA Championships down in Eugene in a couple weeks. But not very often that you get to see that kind of thing. A runner like Raevyn Rogers jumping up in distance, so it's a Very cool thing to watch. Athletes jumping out of their normal comfort zones to try different distances. And as we said earlier, this is the track where Donovan Brazier ran 3:35 in 2020, closing in 52. So the magic is there. But as Devin Dixon said, it's not magic. It's all hard work. And I have to agree with him. Although he did make that final stretch look pretty magical and effortless. McKenna Keegan in the field here too, another 800-meter specialist for the Union Athletics Club. She's got a 2:01 best and has run a few 2:01s this year. She did at the Portland Track Festival. So shaking things up a little bit before getting to USA champs. And shaking it out, getting ready to race on the line here. Amelia Kaiser-Gibson from the Cascadia Elite at the Portland versus Seattle 3,000-meter race. She was the first person across the line in the combined men's and women's race and recently ran a 4:41 for the mile. So we'll see what she can do in the 1,500. Casey Monasley there, 4:19 at the Portland Track Festival a couple weeks ago. Savannah Shaw, NC State Wolfpack, better known as a 5,000-meter athlete. Here we go. I think that might be Julia Haymock, just lacing up, making sure she gets in front of the line so that they don't start before she gets her shoes on. It's a good strategy. Haymock, Stanford standout, now a Brooks Beast. This is her first year on the team in Seattle. I believe that's who it is. I think I'm wrong, actually. I think she's in the top section. My apologies. And the women step to the line. Here we go. Women's 1,500-meter Heat 2 is off and running. Heat run will be run later in the day. And not too long. But that was our pacer getting her shoes on. So everyone is very thankful that she's in the field. Raevyn Rogers jumping up to the front, but not going with the pacer. So Rogers now tucked into that second position, soon to be third. And Savannah Shaw is up front. Savannah Shaw and then Lori Barton in front of Raevyn Rogers. The pacer has a good gap on the field to start, but they come through in just under 50 seconds for 300. Savannah Shaw, Katie Follett up front, and Lori Barton. Shaw trying to get back to the pacer now. Shaw about 67, 68. And Katie Follett, a former Brooks Beast standout, University of Washington Husky, is sitting in that third position. So Shaw, Lori Barton, and then Katie Follett. And Raevyn Rogers content to sit mid-pack there, striding out right next to Maddie Strandamo and McKenna Keegan behind them. And now the pacer steps off, and it is a race. Lori Barton now at the front. Barton, Shaw, Katie Follett. 800 meters in about 2:15. So 4:30, 1,600 meter pace. And now Follett comes up to that second position. Lori Barton has got a bit of daylight. And then that may be Kaylee Mitchell in second position. We'll let you know for sure. Lori Barton out front, though, looking very good. The 800 meter specialist to flat runner. That is Kaylee Mitchell in second. So Lori Barton, Mitchell at the bell. Grace Featherston-Haw from Oregon State University in that third position as they hit 1,200 meters in about 3:20. 65-second lap there. And Barton is moving now. Barton and Mitchell, and Raevyn Rogers is in fourth position with McKenna Keegan, her teammate, on her tail. They're inside 200 meters to go, and we'll see what they can do with that 800 meter speed. Lori Barton out front using her 800 meter speed to try and hold on to this win. And she's the first to make it onto the home stretch with Kaylee Mitchell behind her. And then Featherston-Haw, but Raevyn Rogers is closing very well on the outside. Lori Barton extending her lead and gets to the line for the win in 4:08. And we see Rogers come up for that third place. And that's a big PR for her, 4:11.43, 4 seconds a lifetime best. 4:08.68, believe that is a lifetime best for Lori Barton. And excellent running there from the 800 meter specialists. McKenna Keegan, an 800 meter specialist, comes in at 4:15 too. In sixth place, Savannah Shaw, fifth place, 4:14. Grace Featherston-Haw, 4:11.39. Great running from the Oregon State athlete. And a close for Raevyn Rogers, the fastest in the field, 63.2, but Lori Barton, 63.5 on the close from the front, leading that thing for the majority of the second half of the race. And there you go, giving it everything she has. You can see Lori Barton clawing to the line for a 4:08 victory. And that is just heat 2. Now, we're turning our attention to heat 2 of the men's 1500. We saw heat 3 earlier, 1 in 3:48 by Liam Walsh. And now we've got the men from heat 2 assembling. It's a great afternoon of racing here in Portland, Oregon, in the Landia. And the flag is still hanging still, and the sun is shining. Track gods are smiling on us today as we get a glimpse of Matt Palmer there shaking out, a Nike designer as well, who had a hand in designing that Tracklandia TIFO at the Portland Track Festival, the artwork banner that hung on the home stretch and protected the racers as they competed. If you're looking for PRs, today is the day to do it out here. This weather is pristine. But still coming up, following this race, we will have the top heats of the 1500s. So that includes Sinclaire Johnson in the women's race, your defending U.S. champion. And Konstanze Klosterhalfen coming back from her 800-meter race to jump into that field as well. You can see Johnson striding out down the backstretch there. coming off of her 4:05 season opener down at Hayward Field for the Nike Outdoor Nationals competition. And then to cap off the day, we will have that rematch between Cole Hocker and Amon Kemboi with 146 800s already in their legs. Here we get a glimpse of Heat 2 of the men's 1500. Good starting line there. Matt Strangio, 339 man for the Portland Pilots, Sacramento guy. Tucked in. Michael Roger in this race as well. A T46 athlete for 1,500 meters. He's from Australia and comes into this race carrying a personal best of 3:45. So we've got Jordan McIntosh coming back on the outside for more pacing duties. And I have to think that these men would like to get under or close to that 337 mark, which is the U.S. Championships auto qualifier. There's some 339 athletes in the field. And McIntosh goes back to the front for the third time today. Hope to see some good racing from him coming up this summer because he's getting a good workout today. And he deserves some great pacemaking for himself after this. But he's setting a good pace, but right now, nobody wants to go with him. Strangio coming up on the outside in the Portland purple and coming back to McIntosh because if you're getting a pace job like this, then you go with it. So we hope Strangio can get back. Jordan McIntosh maybe slowing up a little bit to make sure that the guys can get back to him as he crosses, and then the field does in under 60 seconds. Strangio is about 59 for that 400. Zach Stallings up front too, Alex Slenning, Kendall Muhammad. So the pace is sub 4-minute pace for a mile. We'll see what they run for 1,500. And this track has been good for closing today. There have been some epic finishes. So if they can get close, then they have a shot. Strangio at the front, then Alex Slenning, Kendall Muhammad. That is still Jordan McIntosh, the pacer, coming to 800 meters here. And he steps off. And 158 for Strangio. And now the pack is rolling up, chomping at the bit. There are many men out there that look like they have a lot of running left in their legs. So we'll see what they can do over this last lap and a half. Strangio still at the front, a strong athlete in the 13:30 range for 5,000. And he comes from that strength-based Portland Pilot program headed up by Rob Connor, cross-country powerhouse. But Alex Slenning goes to the front now as they reach the bell in about 2:43 high. So there is still a pack of about a dozen athletes in the field as they come through 1,200 meters in about 2:59, and that's Everett Silva driving down the back stretch in front, the former pilot, and Strangio still in there in second, the current pilot. And it's pilot versus pilot now at the front. We'll see who can take this. Silva and Strangio. Silva, Central Valley athlete originally as well. Strangio from the Sacramento area. And who's it going to be? Silva and then Strangio coming into the finish. It looks like Strangio, the Sacramento King, is going to take it in the second heat of the men's 1,500 meters. 3:40.87 with a yo-yoing effort, going to the front, being overtaken, and then coming back. 55.79 on the close for Strangio to round out his 3:40 victory. 56.1 for Silva for 3:41.01. Michael Roger gets a PR out of this, 3:44.83 for the T46 athlete. And he closes in sub 60 as well, 59.5. And here's the final stretch again, the stretch battle between Silva and Strangio, past pilot and current. And the current pilot takes the wheel and drives the victory. And a slew of men across the line under that 3:45 mark. 8 men under 3:45 here at Stumptown. So that was the penultimate men's 1,500. And we look forward to the top heat after this top heat of the women's 1,500, which we're about to see take place on the track here with a number of notable athletes in the field. There's Julia Haymock on the outside, striding out for the Brooks Beast. At the center of your screen, that's Ali Buhalski, 4:06 best for the 1,500. She's a sub-15 athlete for 5,000 meters. Konstanze Klosterhalfen, the Puma Elite Racing athlete, German athlete, and world medalist. She is coming back from racing the 800 today. So this is her second race of the day as she prepares for championship season and the rounds that come with it. Klosterhalfen, a 3:58.9 best in the 1,500. 14:26 5,000 meter best, and a 1:59 best in the 800 meters. Jen Randall of the Cascadia Elite there getting ready to race. Ella Donahue, the Nike Union Athletics Club as well. Michaela Meyer on the outside, and Anna Kemp Bennett, they may be up for pacing duties for this race. There is Sinclaire Johnson, the 3:58 athlete and current U.S. champion. As we get a glimpse of the entire field here. And we can now confirm that Michael Rogers' time, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing his last name correctly, is a world record for a T46 athlete, for a para athlete. So 3:44 lowers his best, and he gets a world record today here in Portland. So a number of great athletes in this field. Danielle Aragon of the Empire Elite in here too. And Christina Aragon, the Nike Bowerman Track Club, both Stanford athletes and now on separate teams. The sisters. Grace Barnett of the ASICS Mammoth Track Club, 405 1500 meter runner. Katie Wasserman in the field, the Hoka NAZ Elite. So it is a perfect day to run fast today, and that is what these athletes are attempting to do heading into championship season, making a statement, putting it out there and letting everybody know what they're coming to play with as they get to the high stakes tables. Maybe carry a bit of confidence for themselves too, to know what they can use when and how they can do it in those tactical races. Women getting their instruction now. Katie Camarena in this field as well. She won the second heat of the 1500 at the Portland Track Festival in 4:08. Former Portland State Viking, closing that in 64 seconds. So she can do something special here as well. And here we go, the top section of the Stumptown High Performance 1500 meters. A great field here in Portland, Oregon, as Michaela Meyer goes to the front, followed by Anna Camp-Bennett, the pacers for Sinclaire Johnson, who was looking to do something special after she opened in 4:05 last week in the 1500 down in Eugene. Those were under rainy conditions, though, and now in the low 70s and no breeze to speak of. It's the perfect opportunity to notch a great time here in Portland. And Konstanze Klosterhalfen is doing what she can to climb back to Sinclaire Johnson now as she goes from 4th to 3rd place. I'm sorry, 5th to 4th place. She is now navigating that gap up to the trio, two pacers and Sinclaire Johnson, as they get to the first lap in 64 seconds. 2:08 is what was asked for. So 64, they're on it. Michaela Meyer up front still, Anna Camp-Bennett. Sinclaire Johnson tucked in so tightly you could barely see her. And there she is, and Konstanze Klosterhalfen still trying to navigate that gap back to Johnson. Coco still has that 800 in her legs, so she's racing with heavy legs at the moment. And now Meyer steps off, and Anna Camp-Bennett is up front. And Johnson is chomping at the bit, it looks like. She wants to move, so we hope the pace is hot enough. Johnson on the move, following Camp-Bennett, coming up to 800 meters here. It's reached in 2:09 for Sinclaire Johnson. And Camp-Bennett is still at the front and now pushing, trying to ease Johnson faster before she steps off. Camp-Bennett at the front, and then Sinclaire Johnson, and a gap back to Konstanze Klosterhalfen, the German athlete. We know that Johnson can close extremely well, closing in 58 seconds last year for her U.S. Champs victory. That was 4:03. So we'll see what she can do in this final 500 meters that she'll navigate solo. Johnson on the home stretch for the second to last time as she reaches the bell in under 3 minutes, about 2:58 at the bell. Klosterhalfen, 3:04, leads the pack that chases Johnson. Johnson coming up to 1,200 meters now, 3:14. And the rest of the pack rolls through at about 3:20. Johnson with an enormous gap on the field, as you can see on the screen. Her coach, Pete Julian, urging her on there. And she's rounding the bend here at Jesuit High School, home of numerous fantastic performances. And coming on to the home stretch, Sinclaire Johnson, another fantastic performance from the champ in front of her home crowd here in Portland, making a statement before she goes down to Eugene to defend her title in 2 weeks' time. It'll be 4 flat for Sinclaire Johnson of the Union Athletics Club. And now a fight for second as Buhalski comes to the line, holding off Jen Randall. 4:10 for Jen Randall, 4:10.6 Allie Buhalski. Maddie Borman, 4:11.25. Ella Donahue, 4:12.07. But Sinclaire Johnson, 61.8 on the close, solo, 4 flat, .77 here at the Stumptown High Performance Meet. And she is ready to defend her title. Fist bump for the champ. And look out, United States athletes. Sinclaire Johnson is back. There's a glimpse at the finish again and the gap that was formed. There's her teammate, David Ribich, wearing that spectacular speed suit, getting ready for another attempt at the 1,500 meters. An event he knows and loves. A 3:35 man there. And this is his first year for the Nike Union Athletics Club, a previous Brooks Beast. A high five to his former teammate, Dylan Maggard, a current Brooks Beast, and 3:37 man. And I think we're going to talk to Sinclaire. Sinclaire, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Hey, 4 flat, .77. We heard that 4 flat was what the goal was. Mission accomplished?
I think so. I think I always want more. But it was good. I feel like got out of my comfort zone a little bit by going right behind the pacer and just trying to see how hard I could push once that pacer stepped off out there by myself. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, it was good.
Well, 4:05 for an opener, now down to 4 flat, and in 2 weeks' time we've got USA's.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. So hopefully everyone is getting scared.
Yeah, how do you anticipate that race going?
Sorry, what'd you say?
How do you anticipate that race going there?
I mean, so many people run well this year, like, you know, a lot of great races over in Europe and stuff. So I think it's going to be awesome. I think you're going to have to be in sub-4 shape to make the team, and that's how it's going to be. So.
Well, you've proven that you can do it any which way, and we look forward to watching you at the Champs in a couple of weeks.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Sinclaire Johnson aiming to defend her title in a couple weeks down at Hayward Field. And the final event of the day. Thank you all for joining us and tuning in at the Stumptown High Performance Meet in conjunction with Rose City's Rose City Mile community sections earlier today. There's the man himself, Cole Hocker, at the center of your screen, opening up in 3:34 low a couple weeks ago at the Portland Track Festival. And earlier today, running 146.3, his teammate with the golden locks coming down the straight, running 147 earlier today to win that second heat. So the guys are doubling back here, running with heavy legs, and we'll see what they can do. Another man in this race who ran 146.9 earlier today, Amon Kemboi. See what he can do. 3:34.12 for the win at the Portland Track Festival. A coveted victory every year, that 1,500 meter. at the Portland Track Festival. Always a loaded field and a fast race. And this year, a loaded prize purse, as we will continue to do. But a lot of great hair in this race as we see Wisner and Ribich just walking together down that stretch. So we know the pace will be hot and the hair will be flying. Jack Urian in the field too, the OTC. Reinhardt Harrison also in this field, University of Oregon runner. Ran a sub 340 clocking at the Portland Track Festival. Hit the deck at the line as he was fighting Wisner for the win. Brett Meyer in here for Adidas. Aaron All, Aaron Bienenfeld, former University of Oregon athlete and German athlete. Sam Gilman in here for the Air Force. Evan Dorenkamp for Penn State. And Sean Peterson for New Balance. There's Kemboi, your Portland Track Festival champ. And the pace pirate himself, Craig Nowak. Everybody shaking out here. And with the two-leg journey of the 800s and 1500s, everyone is wondering what Cole Hocker and Kemboi and Matt Wisner will do in this race. How fast can they go after running 146 and 147 earlier in the day? And they're off. The top heat of the Stumptown High Performance 1500 meters. That looks like Luca Chatham on the outside will head up some pacing duties coming back from his 800 meter performance. And Cole Hocker is going straight to the front. So he's not messing around. He's not in this to hang in the back and see what he can do weaving up. He wants to see what he can do on tired legs and put out a fast race. Hocker, the phenom, 331 man, 6th in the Olympics in 2021, Olympic trials champion. And he is out on his own behind Luca Chatham, making his intentions known. You don't do this if you want to be swallowed up. 57 seconds at the opener. And the pack does what they can to claw back to Cole Hocker. Kemboi sitting there on the outside in the blue singlet, stalking Hocker. This is a rematch. We know that Hocker came on with a full head of steam at the Portland Track Festival and came within 2/100ths of a second of nipping Kemboi at the line, but he didn't get there. So this is his opportunity to take a victory over the man. And it's still Hocker out front with at least a 5-meter gap. Chatham still leading Hocker. Now Kemboi at the front of that second pack. And they come through 800 meters in 1:58. And about 1:59 for Kemboi. So the pace has slowed. A 61-second lap. And it looks like it could be a kicker's race now. Hocker has put himself in danger, but this is a good tune-up for what he's going to have to face at U.S. Championships. And that second pack there, Kemboi, Dylan Maggard. And it is still Hocker at the front. .243 at the bell. What can they do now over this last lap? Hocker's a sitting duck out there. And he's pulling wide. He's stepping off now, 258 through 1,500 meters. And at the front, it is the Penn State athlete, Evan Dorenkamp. So we did not know that was going to happen with Hocker. But it is a fight at the front. And check out this finish here. It is a blanket finish, under 340, 339 for Brett Mayer. Dylan Maggard coming up in second. Evan Dorenkamp in third, 340. So not the fireworks we anticipated here. Kemboi comes in sixth at 341 after a 146.9 opener. But a good race nonetheless. Brett Meyer taking the win. 339.55, Dylan Maggard in second place. And Cole Hocker with a 258 1200 after his 146.3. So here's the look at the final stretch and Meyer's victory. And Sam Gilman there on your screen, coming through in 340.33 for fourth place. So great racing here at the Stumptown High Performance Meet. And thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you tuning in and checking out the track offerings that we have here in the Landia in Portland, Oregon. And be sure to tune in to the U.S. Championships down in Eugene, just an hour and 40 minutes down the road on July 6th through 9th. From all of us here at In Tracklandia, thank you for watching. Thank you to Portland Track for putting on these opportunities for athletes, and for the Rose City Track Club for putting on the Rose City Mile and giving opportunities to community members to race a mile out here before these high performance sections. And the crew at Tracklandia for bringing you this live stream for free on the YouTube. All right. That's it for us. We'll catch you all next time.